Our new oven is preheating to 180 degrees or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Our last oven self-destructed, so we had to get a new one put in, which was a time-consuming and frustrating process, but we've now got it installed. So the first thing we're going to make, Lenny, is
a cinnamon tea cake. One of the bastions of the Australian country cake repertoire.
And we're using my mother's recipe. We have done it before, so we know it works and works well. It's a very quick cake to make, Lenny, isn't it?
Very quick and utterly delicious. I like to eat it hot and fresh. So you just prepare about a 20 centimetre cake tin.
Got your hair in your face.
Sorry. By rubbing it with flour, rubbing it with butter and then just dusting it with flour.
Just sort of bumping the flour around inside there.
You need to put some baking parchment in the bottom. Now we get down to the exciting part.
Your hair's in the way again. Should have put a hair clip in.
Would you stop with the hair thing?
Okay.
If you want to start with hair, you should take a look.
Okay, I admit, I do need a haircut, okay? It's been a while.
Anyway, let's go. Cream the butter and sugar and beat in the egg and vanilla. 2 ounces of butter. It's 60 grams.
Right.
There we go.
Right, that goes in.
Half a cup caster sugar.
Is that called caster sugar in all parts of the world?
Yes. Oh, might be finely ground sugar in North America. I can't remember.
Anyway, in that goes.
Okay, so you cream this with the beaters. See, that's sort of coming together now.
Yep.
We beat in the egg and a teaspoon of vanilla. Not the world's best cracker of eggs.
Good enough.
Extract of vanilla.
Yeah, it's not.
And water.
Some vanilla that you get is actually artificial.
Okay, you can see there's no lumps left in there. 1 cup of self-raising flour.
Right, this is self-raising flour. We couldn't really find this when we were in North America, when we were living in Canada. To make self-raising flour, we've got this wrong before with horrible results in our sponge blob square pan episode. You put 1 cup of plain flour to 1 cup of baking powder, not soda.
Are you sure about that, Was?
It's powder, not soda.
So it's 1 cup of plain flour to 1 cup of...
No, 1 teaspoon. 1 cup of plain flour to 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I can't stress this enough.
Was is not so good with the baking. Okay, so I am going to sift this using the bump and sift method. And 1/3 of a cup of milk. I don't believe in any of that skimmed milk blubber.
Well, this is semi-skilled milk, I think.
Bull crap, it's whole milk. Whole milk.
Is it?
Whole
Okay.
milk.
You buy unskilled milk.
Don't make me laugh. Oh. Now, so you go half, then half, then half, then half.
Yeah, okay.
So half of that flour. Right, mix that in.
Now, if you can't get baking powder, you can only get baking soda and cream of tartar. There is a way to make that into baking powder, but you'll have to find that out yourself.
Just look it up on the internet, people. Okay, then half the milk, then the other half of the flour.
Self-raising.
Okay, so mix that up nicely and put it in. It's just a really simple, lovely cake. You know, countless Australians would tell you bring back lovely memories of sort of morning or afternoon tea with actual tea drunk in the sort of Aussie cocky style with
out of a billy.
Yeah, out of a billy with plenty of sugar
amongst the wattle.
And just now look, don't laugh. I have very fond memories of that.
With magpies going
a hot
in the background.
Are we a bit homesick? We might be a bit homesick. Anyway, smooth it out, bung it in the oven, 180 degrees. It's a bit hot actually.
Is it? We followed someone's suggestion and got one of those internal oven thermometers.
Yeah, it's just showing a bit hot, so I'm gonna turn it down a bit.
Okay.
15 to 20 minutes? Yeah.
Okay. Can we get the topping ready now for the cake?
Yes. 15 grams of melted butter. A couple of teaspoons really. Tablespoon of caster sugar.
Yeah, that's substantially more than a tablespoon, but anyway.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Look at the size of the thing. It's as big as your head. Look, it's actually as big as her. It's bigger than her head.
And a teaspoon of ground cinnamon.
It's in the top one. Yeah, it's in that one.
Cinnamon powder!
Yeah, that's where I left it last time.
A teaspoon.
We're 15 minutes later.
Nope, nowhere
Not
near.
ready? Okay.
Had just about another 10 minutes in there. Yeah,
That's ready.
No, it's not ready. You can see
It's
how
getting brown.
see how wobbly it is
It's
in the
still
middle.
wobbly.
But it is getting there.
Okay.
Another 5, which will be 30 minutes in total. So that's half an hour now.
Yeah, I think that's ready. Just starting to crack on top. The last one we had was a bit
yeah, it was a bit undercooked
slightly
in the middle.
undercooked in the middle, yeah.
It's just been cooling for about 5 minutes. There we go. And then I'll just,
There we go.
while it's still warm, melt that butter. Can you see that?
What are you looking for?
A brush.
There it is down the side.
We do have a pastry brush rather than a paintbrush
Do we?
somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, so you paint that butter liberally, and here comes the secret. Well, it's not really a secret to the cinnamon tea cake.
Hang on, why don't you use the sieve to do that?
Should I?
Yeah, I thought that was how you're supposed to do it. Sprinkle it on with the sieve.
I do.
Yeah. No?
I think you're just supposed to sprinkle it on with your fingers. So that's that mixture of caster sugar and cinnamon. The butter makes the cinnamon and sugar stick to the cake.
You need to sort of shake the excess off, or yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah. So it hasn't been cooling for too long, 15 minutes. Now look, it is actually...
Oh, don't tell me it's a bit undercooked.
Well, it is a little tiny bit soft.
Just right in the middle,
there.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing happened with the last one. A bit of uncookedness there. We should have left it longer. We should have just been more patient. We need to be more patient with our baking. Let's go and have the taste test. Can you taste the slight uncookedness at all?
No. Some people spread butter on their tea cake, actually.
Do they? I've seen that done. Now, it's the way of the English to drink their tea white, isn't it? But we prefer black tea ourselves. If you ever get a cup of tea for an English person, you're pretty much invariably getting them a cup of white tea. Some of them are quite aghast if you drink black tea.
Anyway, you tell me what you think.
Okay. Here you go, you take the camera. And that's good. It is a little bit of a stodgy sort of cake, isn't it? It's not real light and fluffy.
No, it's not like a sponge cake, and it's not meant to be.
No. A fairly weak tea you've made there, man.
I always make weak tea. I'm just going to eat about half that